aggregation, one at 11 o'clock and one at 6 p.m. tonight. Nobody attended either one. Also, finally today got our new phones installed. They're pretty much done. Everybody's got a new phone. There's just some cleanup work that has to be done, tightening up some wires and just whatever, putting boxes away and stuff. Then in a week or so we'll get some training on the new phones, how to actually use all the features of them. We haven't heard from AT&T about the new data lines yet. That is still pending. Should be soon. I talked to them in December and they said about 6 weeks. Now I got to do hopefully have somebody return a phone call, which is like a fat chance, but so we got those in. Now the good news on the new phones is we've had 2 or 3 people from the outside call in. One of them was a police officer calling in, and he said the phone system is a lot clearer than it was. A lot of the scratchiness and noise in the background's gone. So I think we've solved maybe one of our problems with that. Once we get our expenses down, that'll be the other big problem.
Yes.
And I'd like to talk to the trustees about the clothing allowance procedure for this year. We have voted to pay each person, I guess it's $400 or $600 plus $300 for their tax part of it that they're going to receive. I talked to some lady about how I'm supposed to pay people. She said every time they go out and buy something, you should put it on their payroll as a non-wage type item. That means every time somebody buys a shirt, I got to worry about putting that on. I'm not going to do it. It's too much work. Also dealing with Red Diamond, that's a problem because receipts don't get turned in time for me to get them on payroll, and it's just a mess. So what I would suggest we do is pay these people checks 1, 2, or 3 times a year. We can either pay them the full amount at some point. The problem you run into is that, you know, you pay them now and they quit, they've got the money and they're not here anymore. Another option would be pay them incrementally. That maybe in April pay them $300, in August pay them $300, and in December pay them $300. That last $300 would help for the taxes. The problem is the police all go to the May sale over at Red Diamond and they buy their stuff on sale. They have a big sale I think it's May. And so we only give them $300 up front and they want to buy their $600 worth of stuff. They're going to have to pay part of it. I don't care how you handle it. I just don't want to do it per item, per invoice.
I know we called Red Diamond that day about them emailing you receipts. Did they ever get back to you on that? Never did.
No, but I'll be talking to her on Wednesday about something else. But
still not gonna help
that's still not going to help me out. It's, you know, I'm still going to have to manage all their bills per person. Somehow pay the people, you know, this guy had a $60 shirt, this guy had a $200 order. It's going to be a mess.
Like in Red Diamond, they pay and then we reimburse them for it, or we pay Red
No,
Diamond?
they run a bill up there, and then the other problem with managing Red Diamond is the guys here are supposed to turn in an invoice. So when I get the Red Diamond bill, I can say, yep.
Right.
They don't do that. Then we got to call up there and have them fax down a copy of the invoice. And I mean, that's doable. I can handle that part. It's kind of an inconvenience, but I can handle that.
Is there a way of giving them, say like basically all the officers buy everything at Red Diamond, is that right?
Most everything, yes. I would say a great percentage stuff out there.
Could we just prepay Red Diamond for each office, or get them some sort of a debit card from Red Diamond?
How's that different than just give them a check? let them do it? It's a little more confining because if the guy says, I want to go to XYZ store, buy a holster or buy boots over here, then he says, well, I can't do it because I got this credit.
Just we run into the issue, and Spike and I have talked about this, is we've got a few, I believe, that will just take that money and spend on everything else, and their uniform's going to look like crap.
Well, then they shouldn't be working.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought this was one way we could sort of control the uniform a little bit, but if it's going to be an issue, then I don't know. I mean, or give, I don't know. I mean, they're the only ones I have the issue with. Jim, it's nothing with you guys over there. It's just...
Right, you pay somebody for a full uniform allowance up front and then have them leave.
I mean, there's just so many issues.
That's why I think if we break that off in like quarter payments.
Yeah.
Now, if they have to pay it out of their pocket, they're still going to get their rent as long as they stay here.
Yeah, I guess that's...
How else you can do it?
If they want to go to Red Diamond in May for the sale, they'll have $300.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to come up with $300, and knowing in August, maybe they can make arrangements with Red Diamond to have a charge account. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to them, I guess.
It's up to them.
I guess maybe that's the best way we could go. And I mean, I want to have a little bit of hold somehow, so I guess that would be easier for you. And so you want to do it every quarter, or you want to do it every 3 months? How do you want to?
I would suggest probably April. That gets it to them for May. Do it to them in August, and then do it in December. That would be the tax money.
Right, yeah.
So,
yeah.
and if they waste it, then that's their problem.
Yeah. And if they leave before that, then they just don't do that.
That's right.
That's probably a very good way to do it. So I think that's a good way to go with it.
I agree.
Since it's across the board, is that an issue with you then?
No.
You guys buy your clothes?
No, we'll make it work.
Okay. I want to get everybody on the same page, so that's,
That's fine.
yeah, it'll be fine.
We need a motion, or you want is it okay to do it? I don't care.
I don't think we need a motion on that, since we'd already approved to give the amounts. You can handle house.
Okay. That's all I got then.
Okay. Is there anybody here, before we discuss NOPEC, that has a question on the gas aggregation?
I got one on electric.
Well, that's...
Is that already took place? I mean, I just got a thing on it last couple of weeks ago.
Where you could change, you could opt out and change, is what that one was about. That was when you called me, I went and checked into that, and that was just one of the opt-outs from a different company that was trying to sell you electric. It wasn't anything to do with the one we're on, because you can opt out at any time.
Well, see, I'd like to get a price of what it's going to cost me with who we're with against the people that's going to furnish it now. I can't find it.
On your bill, it'll show what your current rate is.
Yeah, with our company now, but it's not going to show with who's coming in.
You can go on the line and check that.
Well, as far as the township side, we're not changing. It's going to be that one that you're with now. It's just you have the option to go with another one if you can find a cheaper one. We're always going to be with the First Energy.
Oh, I thought the county, the township voted a couple, 3 years ago to go with the aggregation and whoever had the cheapest rate. That's not high Edison, maybe.
No,
First
Energy Solutions is who we are signed up with, and that's across the board. There's no changes on that. Then every resident has the option, if they find someone that's cheaper than what we actually got for the residents, they can opt out and change.
Yeah, my letter stated that if I signed that, that was giving them the right to opt me out. Why don't I want to keep who I got?
Yeah, so if you don't do anything, then you stay with who you're with. Yeah, just don't sign anything and you're safe.
Yeah, right, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
What it is there's other companies out there that are trying to generate business.
Oh, yeah.
They'll send you a letter telling you they can save you
Yeah,
so
right.
much, and It's,
Yeah,
but they'll only guarantee it, most of them, the letters that I got, they would only guarantee it for so long.
yeah, so, okay. I just wanted to give, since Brenda was back here, I wanted to give that option before we got any further, so. Okay. Is everything for you, Tom?
That's everything.
Okay, Jim?
January totals, put 2,611 miles on the trucks, used 682 gallons of fuel, and put 73 approximate ton of salt grit mixed down in January. The reason that's so high, we're trying to conserve, but we just had so much ice in January. The only thing I got is, I talked to you guys individually here through the last week. I don't know how we're going to be on salt, and if we could get, I have it arranged to buy salt as needed off ODOT. All we have to do is go pick it up, as long as I could just get the approval for that. Once we started getting a little lower here, because if I start running out, all I have to do is make a phone call and I can get it the next day. So I just need to go ahead. It's $105.25 a ton. I know it's expensive, but if we don't do something, our roads are going to look like the counties.
We're basically looking at $1,000 a load whenever you have to go.
Pretty much.
I think we can afford that if need be, can't we, Tom?
Got money in the budget for this year, yes.
Okay, so I don't have a problem with that, just, because I don't want to be strapped till next meeting and you run out in between, so.
And I mean, we could make it, but I don't know.
And
Your guess is as good as mine.
We'll discuss it at their meeting also, correct?
Yeah.
Because they're basically the same boat as we are,
Yeah.
how much is left.
Yeah, they only got a load left, and
Okay.
so,
When they need a load, are they going to load up and just keep it at their place and not bring it to us?
no, it'll be brought to ours.
We're still mixing, so, yeah.
So,
You guys
that's all.
comfortable with that?
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
What's your thoughts, Jim, getting like one load at a time?
One load at a time to try to buy us some time, and maybe the price will come down this summer, or if not,
Yeah.
we'll deal with it when they send the contract out. That's all I have.
Okay, I suppose we should make a motion on that, so I'll make a motion that give Jim the option to get it one load at a time as needed from the state.
And they'll just, I talked to them, they said they'll just send us a bill, like at the end of winter or whenever.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to run you across a set of scales, Jim?
No, they said they would just use their loader bucket. I forget what they said their bucket held, be a level load, so.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Jim?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, Derek.
Alrighty, we had 45 runs.
Excuse me,
Oh,
Derek,
sorry.
before I vote on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So roll call vote, Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Thanks, Bud. All right.
Alright, now you ready? For January, we had 45 runs. We had 28 squad calls. For Goshen, we had 19 runs in Goshen, and then 9 in Butler Township. Then on the fire side, we had a busy month. We had 17 runs, and 3 of those calls were actual structure fires, and we had a pretty significant car crash down in Butler Township. But the week that all this happened, every day of the week, or the following day, we had a significant car crash, but luckily there was no injuries. So people got pretty lucky, in my opinion, on that. We did have a school bus crash. The police department did a good job working with them, and I made a special note in my notes to commend Mr. Manley, the principal at the West Branch Elementary down here in Damascus, for he's such a phenomenal person to work with, very knowledgeable with everything that needed to happen and cooperating with my department very well. So, and to enlighten our road situation, I messaged whatever the gentleman's name is at Mahoning County. He responded back to me with a message, and I think it said they were going to work on Garfield Road, and I can't remember what else he said on there. So, but Garfield is one of them that's very bad, but Pine Lake's another one, and they're all, and it's not it's not something that, my opinion is, it's not something that just happened last year. These have been ongoing for the last few years. So, but it is what it is at this point. So, but other than that, that's all I have.
You happen to talk to him in your conversation with him, anything on the snow and ice conditions? I'm sure that deterred you a lot.
No, he didn't say much about that. It was just all email.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, on ice, I said last month, I tipped my hat to Jim here for helping us out when we were in a bind at a house fire. And I know it's not Butler Township up here, but same with them guys. Those guys are doing a good job down there. So, but it is what it is at this point. So, any questions before I roll? Good deal.
No, I don't have anything. Guess we're good.
All right, see you guys next month.
Thank you, David.
Okay, Paul. Okay. We'll bring up that other issue that's on the agenda here in a little bit, so. I got the report from Steve. He's at the Beloit meeting tonight, since they're voting on the police contract over there, so. I think everybody was out there. There was 7,299 miles put on the cruisers and 681 events this month. So, all wrote down on the sheet. Got a letter here from Corp Calco, effective Monday, February 9th, 2015, part-time officer Brenda Golick's status will be changing to reserve officer. She voluntarily stepping down due to availability, so I'll take care of the issues we had on uniforms and so forth. So,
Okay.
I suppose we ought to make a motion on that. I'll make a motion that we accept, or basically it's not resignation, but it's step down in position, just to have it on record.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote, Mr. Beeson.
Yes.
Mr. McCracken.
Yes.
Mr. Hyman.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a formal letter requesting from Detective Beck to be moved to part-time status as of the 15th of February 2015, as I have accepted a conditional offer of employment with the Mahoning County Sheriff's Department. I would like to say that I feel my time with Goshen has been well spent. I have learned a great deal and feel that this extraordinary department has benefited me both personally and professionally. It should be known that this was not an easy decision to come to, and I still look forward to being a part-time part of the department as a part-time officer. So again, I'll make a motion that we accept this by moving from full-time to part-time.
Regretfully, I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Mr. Hyman.
Yes.
Mr. McCracken.
Yes.
Mr. Beeson.
Yes.
Okay. That's everything. Police. Okay.
I really didn't know you was having an issue with your funds of buying clothing, but I think they had the can of worms that are already a problem. Why do you want to give them money for if they don't go out and spend it on their clothes? I think that they give Tom an invoice for what their receipt of what they bought, then you pay them. If they're just spending the money for something else, why are you doing it?
I mean, I guess it's a catch-22 situation. That's the way it's always been with the road department. We pretty much, let them go by wherever.
Yeah.
Police, as Tom brought up, 90% of it's Red Diamond, but they do have the option of getting some of their stuff other places, so
Well, I read between these lines what he was
Yeah.
saying, they go get stuff, but they never turn in a damn receipt for it. If they don't turn it in, don't pay them.
Yeah,
That's simple.
It's too
I ain't
late.
late, Tom.
We're too late because Red Diamond's charging us.
yeah.
So what are you saying, don't pay Red Diamond? Because our guys didn't turn it in? I mean, that's where I...
And this is the problem.
I gotta pay them.
Yeah, we're not reimbursing the officer with the way it's been. Red Diamond bills us, we have this bill, but he has no receipts to back up to who it gets charged to.
Well, why don't you make them charge it to themselves and then pay them when you get
Yeah, so,
the thing, Tom? I mean, I understand Tom's problem,
yeah,
but I sure as hell don't think the township should be buying something that they don't then go get.
yeah.
You know, I don't believe in that.
That's why it brought up what I did, because I get that whole issue too, but I don't know an easy way to handle it, so.
Well, if they got a bill for something that they bought, I can understand paying for it. But if they never bought anything, you go give them $900, well, that's a damn waste of money. But point blank.
It is. The way it used to be when you were in and
Yeah.
when I was here, when we bought something, the township paid, we turned in the receipt and they paid it. But now that the IRS has decided that it's taxable income, that's what Tom was saying. Every time if they go out and buy a shirt or if they go out and buy a badge or whatever, every time they turn in a receipt, he's got to put that on their
Income.
it is taxable income on their pay. And it just gets to the point where it gets cumbersome.
I mean, I don't know of a good way to fix it. It might be something that might come back to the table, we might discuss again. I don't know, it's just, we discussed it, I think at the last reorg meeting on how to do it, and,
I think your police chief maybe ought to set down some rules, say, hey, we expect you to look presentable and have this, you're going to spend this kind of money, you know.
I think in the handbook there is a provision where they have to be presentable and
right, there is,
appropriate dress.
and we did discuss that we are going to,
Enforce it.
force that a little more since we're going this route. I mean, that's my biggest issue is I'm proud of the department out there, and I want them to look good when they're out there, and
Yeah, I understand.
I just don't want someone that's out there in a,
30-20.
yeah, so, I guess this is the way we're all decided to try it this year, and, you know.
If we have an issue, then we can look at making them
Yeah,
pay for it and us reimburse
yeah,
that.
I mean, I guess it's a trial and error issue to try it a different way. for
There again,
this year,
yeah.
So,
What do you do with the guy that says, I can't afford to go out and buy it because I only work here part-time and I've got a family and
yeah,
I can't wait 2 weeks or whatever to be reimbursed? I mean, it's, like Bob said, it's a catch-22. You're darned if you do and darned if you don't.
yeah, so,
I guess my next question is, I didn't see any road for this coming year. What roads are improving? I know the last 4 years I've been told that Duck Creek Road's going to have some attention between 165 and Pine Lake, and that hasn't ever happened. Is it on the agenda again this year?
I don't have the,
There was nothing on the agenda this year for...
There wasn't anything back there, I missed it.
well,
What was?
yeah, I mean, we basically carried the same things we had on from last year. The only thing we took off was diagonal roads.
There's nothing coming. There's no amount budgeted for it.
Yeah, there wasn't an amount budget. We left the list of roads that we hope to work on the same, except we took diagonal off because it's finished now. But yeah, everything else that was listed on last year, I don't have in front of me, is actually listed this year, so.
I see. You got a variety? Which road's going to get some of your money, or have you decided, or?
No, I mean, we're gonna wait and see what the winter situation does to them. I mean, you know as well as anything, we go out and drive in here after the winter's over, and the ones you might think was the worst might not be the worst, so. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, so.
What happened out in front of the entrance?
This parking lot's just falling apart. I mean, we've got to do something with it. Last year, we had that issue. Jim put some patch in there, but it's just not holding into that. It's too loose of a base material under there. I mean, you probably can say more on that than I can.
It needs fixed.
Yeah.
Flat out, it needs
It
fixed.
definitely needs fixed. We just haven't come up with a good way to do it.
I plow it as gentle as I can, and
Yeah.
it needs fixed.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Roger.
I really don't have anything other than down at the, I guess I can say for myself, I was a little disappointed in the conference this year. About the only, well, no fault, like the cemetery one, the speaker canceled like 2 or 3 days, and Heather did what she could to have somebody there, and it was kind of interesting, but didn't really get anything out of it. I did go to the one on roads there, and this gentleman, he's actually come out of Indiana on a full depth reclamation, and pretty much the people doing it themselves. There's the townships or something that are getting a machine rent. He claims there's out there to rent, then you regrade it and you put ready mixed grout in with it and wet it down to a certain, what you feel would pack good, and then packs it in, but you do have to seal coat or pave over top of it, but it rebuilds a base, and it was kind of interesting. I got a piece of literature here on it, and you guys want to see it? I don't know if either one of you.
No, I didn't see that one there.
And which, you know, I think sounded like a good deal for some of the roads. I really wouldn't mind maybe trying it on like one of the dirt sections of Smith Goshen or one of the dead ends. I don't know if we could scarify it with a grader enough and get it broke up. We'd have to have a roller. And it's pretty much Portland dust is what it is. And whether you could work something out with like Chapel Zimmerman or the guy there in Alliance, and then you'd have to have some way of wetting it down, but sounded like a pretty decent deal, but I was maybe a little disappointed in the conference myself, but I guess that's all I have.
Okay. Todd.
A little bit more on the conference. The one on cemetery funding was very disappointing, but the one thing I did get is that if we are serious about looking at purchasing more cemetery ground, we do have the option that we can try to put a levy on for cemeteries, that the money that comes in would be used for cemeteries only. Some of the townships down there said it's kind of a tough sell because most people don't know anything about cemeteries till it comes time to use them, or somebody that's already got their graves bought really don't care. But it is an option we can look at when the time comes that we want to try to purchase the ground. The thing I liked about the convention was the classes. They moved them from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, which it used to be if you got in one that was really good, you'd like to get more information, but they had to wrap it up because of time. They stretched the time out on them, but I didn't have any this year that were that great that, you know, really benefited from that. Next thing I have, we've talked about trying to do something with the roof here, do something with the building. The United States Department of Agriculture, Rural Development has a community facilities direct loan and grant program. If it's okay with you guys, I might start trying to do some preliminary work to see if we would even qualify, see what it would take and what we need to do. This is just to try to come up with some information to see if it's feasible for us.
Yeah, I was talking with you earlier, that's for revamping existing, or
You can either revamp existing or you can put up new, depending on what you qualify for.
Right.
You can get a grant plus a direct loan in conjunction with each other, so that the portion that you have to pay the grant doesn't cover, you can get the loan for. The loans, they'll loan up to however many years they deem the buildings, how long it's used as feasible. Yes, basically. Like I say, I don't know if we qualify or not, but if it's all right, I'll start doing some preliminary work to see if it's worth pursuing.
I would say definitely. I mean, that's something we need to pursue, those type of things, and see what we have to, you know, I'm more for the repair than I am building new, but, you know, whichever way you can get the money for it, I would say now, and we'll discuss it down the road, in my opinion, so. What's your thoughts, Roger?
Yeah, I agree. I try to see what information you can get there, Todd.
Yeah. Again, as we talked about, talk with the fire and so forth, I think the more that we can get
What will help us is with the health department having their monthly program here, with WIC meeting here, that's going to fall into our favor.
I'll be at the Board of Health tomorrow, in the meeting in the morning. I'll ask them if they can draft something up for us, and I'll get that to you. So
Okay, let me get the preliminary first to see if we even
okay.
qualify.
You don't need it for the preliminary then?
Not just to try to get the information to see if it's something that we want to pursue or if we're eligible.
No, all right.
They'll do the legwork on that first.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only other thing I have, I know everybody knows what condition the county roads have been lately, and when you look at that and some of the things I heard at the convention, it really makes me appreciate the employees that we have, Paul with the recycling, the police department, and Jim and Randy. You really appreciate what you have when you see what's out there, when you hear some of the stories.
Yeah.
I just want to thank the employees we have for their dedication.
Yeah. I'll definitely stand behind you on that one there, because, yeah, some of the things you hear down there makes ours look excellent here.
Yes.
So, that's all.
That's all it is.
Okay. Well, I sort of feel the same as these guys did on the convention. They did extend it out. They added a few classes, but I didn't feel they were as good as other years. As Roger stated, they had several speakers. As far as they had one day to go, and they had 7 speakers that canceled on them. And Heidi was pulling her hair out, but and I don't know if any more canceled after that or not. I didn't happen to hear on Friday, because I had to leave early, so.
Well, when she told us there, or coming to that one on that cemetery, she said in the 14 years she had done it, she had 2 speakers cancel. This year she had 8 already.
Yeah, 8 already, so, yeah. That's hard to cover. I mean, when
Yes.
she's running this way and that down there, trying to cover everything, and adding speakers, so. But I think as far as, not during the sessions, but talking with other trustees and representatives and so forth, I think I learned more on that side than I did in the sessions this year down there, so.
Good trade show, too.
Yeah, trade show I think was excellent. I mean, they got more room to expand, but had a lot more than last year there, and seemed like it wasn't so crowded in the trade show that I could always get up and talk to who I wanted to. You might stand and wait for 1 or 2 people, but it wasn't waiting half an hour to get to talk to someone, so. Okay. You have the packets, I think, on the NOPEC resolutions. We'll just go through those. We had passed last meeting to join NOPEC. We sort of want to redo that. They have a little different language on that, so one of these resolutions is joining. We're going to rescind the one from last week. We'll do all these as a package tonight.
Do that one first, by title, and then you'll have to sign underneath.
Okay. This is resolution number 2015-0209A, and this resolution authorizing Goshen Township to enter into the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council and the execution and delivery of the agreement establishing NOPEC and approving the bylaws of NOPEC and declaring an emergency. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken.
Yes.
Mr. Beeson.
Yes.
Mr. Heineman.
Yes.
Yeah, right there.
This is a resolution authorizing entering into a natural gas program agreement with Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council and declaring an emergency. Resolution number 2015-0209B. I'll make a motion to the such.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
This is Resolution 2015-0209C, and Natural Gas Program Agreement of the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council. I'll make a motion to go with this resolution.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
This is Resolution 2015-0209D, Agreement establishing the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council. Make a motion for this agreement.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
Almost done.
Oh, then a question. No, it's-
Yeah.
Did you have one adopting the plan of operation and governance?
Let me go back and check.
Okay.
Okay, because that would be why we have the public hearings, to have public hearings on the on the plan of operation and governance, and then you folks have to formally adopt it.
Okay,
Okay.
missed that
Must
one.
miss that.
I'll check it, I'll check my email. You want
Okay.
to continue, or you want to whip one on?
Why don't we just go get that and get it completed now so we have it all together? Yeah, why don't you go with him and make sure we get the right one, so.
I know, it's a pain.
That's why it's good to have you here. We missed that one, so.
And that's probably the most important one for this.
Oh, they're back there. Anyone that's on Armstrong, I don't know if you got your letter or not, rates are going up again. No. 1st of March. Have you got your letter? Some of these numbers on the back scare me. I mean, it's up here if anybody hasn't got theirs to see, but some of these packages,
About ready to tell me to show it.
when I see a package that's $222 on this, that scares me. They must come fix your breakfast and bed and everything for that, I don't know.
The internet's nice.
It's not a percentage increase, it just fluctuates all over the board, they just broke everything down, so,
Wow, you right on 165, you can't get it.
yeah,
That's just crazy.
yeah. Well, we can't get it here, I mean, I'd love to have it here so we could actually get some service, but, yeah, they're at Secrest Road and they're at Duck Creek, but nothing this,
Nothing between them.
no,
They won't connect between.
No.
Not enough houses.
no.
Yeah, that's what you're
And I checked with them, it would cost,
That would be illegal.
2 years ago, when I got the price, it was a little over $12,000 for them to run the line, and I had to get okay from the other utilities for them to put it on the poles. I couldn't get Abe to kick in 11,000. We'd pay the 1,000 here, but
To tell the truth, that probably in the long run might have been a cheap option.
well,
From here to my house, I had to pay $18,000 for a gas line. And then from my house, the rest of the way I had to pay it anyhow.
yeah,
You know, that was
Right.
my responsibility.
yeah, but
I mean,
yeah,
we have no internet.
no.
We can't get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this thing on the Marks Tower, that sort of went by the wayside down there, so.
The city went belly up.
The owner said it has belly up, nobody took it over, so, yeah.
What's your monthly bill? What's your
I
monthly
don't
bill?
know.
What do you know?
That's my wife, that.
Your special income.
No.
You have a husband?
Now, hey, since they run that gas line to your, can, like if Dawn wanted to hook onto it,
Anywhere in the country.
I don't know whether we
But
can
that
pay it or
doesn't
not.
mean they could,
I
because
think
my
it's,
daughter
we
lives-
would, maybe.
You
You're
know,
sure
Should be able to. That's where the original used to be. is
Yeah,
we'd be
that's-
able to run it all.
Right, sure.
She's a
I was just curious.
Like
contract
Dick Burton's house
company. It's a
and
military
Dawn's.
missile test site.
The new owners now.
Well,
She's in.
but they only
airplane
went
dispatch
to the
or
corner of your property, didn't they?
It's on.
No, they went to the oil well drive there.
How awesome.
Okay, so,
Well, she's lived
Really?
there
but it, like if they wanted to put gas in Dick's house, they would,
once, 3 times.
They'd have to use my lot.
At the South Pole.
and bore under the road,
Yeah.
and-
4 months at the
Right.
South Pole. She's living in that.
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you.
Big time.
because that is strictly all yours from that meter run
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
down to John's. Okay.
Yeah, the meter reading's right there at my place and
She
everything.
couldn't stand AT&T every place she went from.
Whether something went wrong with my electric thing there
If it
today.
was just for the phone, I just cancel all of them, just,
It's out of
use a
order.
cell phone.
The transport.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's where you get out of the house, you can hear it.
Do you notice any fluctuation in your,
No,
nothing in the house?
Mine.
Yeah.
You got your cell phone,
Well.
John got the internet service through his.
Yeah.
Now, when we're drying for them, you can hear the gas running through that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody's sitting there counting his nickels too.
It was cheaper to put the phone line in and bundle the computer
Yeah,
and TV
oh, yeah.
than just to have the computer and the TV, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like a landline.
Yeah,
Now, use it, it's there, you know.
yeah. That's the new place. Oh, you can use your landline now. I said, no, I'm not. When the electricity goes down, whatever else, I still have mine.
Yeah, we use it.
Yeah, while they're back there too, we do have the
They can call.
annual meeting with the county engineer on February 17th this year.
Oh, you haven't had that?
So,
No, they've waited and waited and waited, and he's combining all townships together, all 14 townships.
Oh, you
One
haven't had that?
meeting at the Career Center, and it's 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. up there. And it's field, so there's supposedly going to be an hour at the end to sit down and discuss the issues on each township. I asked him, well, how many minutes that give the 14 townships?
About 14 minutes, maybe.
I think we all disagreed with that route he was going with that, but several other townships I talked to in Columbus felt the same way. They didn't agree either, but we didn't have a choice in it. He just set it up that way, so we'll see how that works out this year. I think after the conditions here in the last week or two, it might get pretty heated, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, I will give the county credit. They were out yesterday.
Yeah, shocking, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
scraping off that
They were
slush.
out yesterday, because
They were out Saturday, too.
Yeah,
They were out
because they went up down
Saturday.
past Chris's mom's house about 4 times yesterday trying to get that pushed back.
Okay. All right, and this is resolution number 2015-0209E. Resolution approving the plan of operation and governance for the NOPEC gas aggregation program for the purpose of jointly establishing and implementing a gas aggregation program and declaring an emergency. I'll make a motion to this resolution.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, Mr. McCracken?
Yes.
Mr. Beeson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyman?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Paul, this one sort of involves you a little bit. We did get our letter in time as far as all 3 drives. As you know, we got the 2 small ones. Berlin did not take the tire drive again this year because they didn't feel the funding was high enough.
Did they apply?
No.
So they didn't even...
No, we didn't even apply. Milton and us applied for it, and at the last solid waste meeting, I was asked if we wanted to rotate, I come up with the idea that maybe we could combine both townships in doing it.
Where would you hold it?
Well, I mean, hold it at ours and then maybe spot a truck up there, and then we could just bring the truck down and load them here, whatever, put them together. I don't know if you work with the recycling coordinator at Milton. I don't know who that is.
No, I have no idea. I used to, when Moore was there,
Yeah, I mean,
I knew him, but I don't know.
it's a $1,500 amount. We ended up spending $1,100 of the 15 to cover it last year, but then with what we took in, we had another $600, almost $700. So we basically had $1,000 extra. So Tom and I was discussing it. If we worked with them and give them $200-300 for their employees in their truck to gather tires up their end the same day as we're doing it, and then have them bring them down, or
They're gonna bring them down to our location.
that's my thoughts. I mean,
Their own trucks, or
well, that's what the
the guy that does my tire drive, is he gonna have to spot a truck or what?
well, that's what I don't know. Does he? How many trucks does he bring? Just one, or does he bring two?
He just had one last year.
Yeah, the last 2 years.
He just had one last year and he went and unloaded it and come back.
But
Okay.
in years past, he's
Yeah.
had two, but
Mhm.
maybe that's changed, maybe he only has one, I don't know.
But my thought was, they could use their dump, load it, and then just bring them down to him down here. We would pay them their hourly rate or whatever, or work some sort of a deal. I haven't mentioned it to them yet. I wanted to discuss it here first.
I think as long as it doesn't cost us money.
Yeah. I just don't, I hate to totally give it up for a year.
Yeah, I don't
We
get
had the
that.
chance
I mean, I fought for that rascal.
of getting it. I mean, and getting all three, I think that's great,
Yeah.
getting it in like we did.
There's only three of them, you know.
Right.
3 of them gonna be held this year,
Yeah.
well, same as last year.
And,
But the guy said, get your request in, and I did the next day.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
I mean, I could've done it any faster.
yeah, so, no, we did fine, and we would automatically had it, except they just thought of this issue of maybe getting a different section of the western part of the county. So I thought, well, if we got something joint going between the two, that might carry on for the following year too, if it works out well, so.
We can handle all the paperwork for it.
Yeah, I mean, we do all the paperwork, we do the contractor, we can make it real easy for them, but they still can hold a tire drive,
So
so.
I'd have to know when I contact this guy if he needs to spot a truck up there, because
Yeah.
that might be another issue.
Just as a suggestion, why don't we, what if Milton was to have theirs the week before we had ours? That would they'd have their tires there instead of spotting a truck there, these guys could pick them up.
But there's only one contract going out for this tire
Now,
drive.
they would have their tire drive, but no contract, and just tire.
No.
Right, or if these guys didn't want to pick them up there, we'd give them a week to bring them down and put them in their facility. Just as a suggestion to try to simplify it.
All right, well, we've got plenty of time to set it up if we have some interest. I've got a solid waste meeting tomorrow morning again. That's going to be on the agenda tomorrow for me to come back with what our thoughts are on it, so.
Yeah, you might want to tread it just a little lightly there, because him going to Akron, he's not far off of 76.
Yeah, so.
In Melton there.
Yeah, or swing from here and just pick up there, I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys want me to pursue it farther with solid waste, we just discussed it at the last meeting and it'll be discussed again tomorrow, so if you think it's a feasible option and we can try and come up with something, like I said, we have till, several months yet, it's not like we're...
Would they go with our pricing structure, or what?
Well, that's what I didn't know, if you knew anything with the fellow or whoever runs theirs, so, I mean, we're gonna have to get with them. I haven't even mentioned their trustees yet. I was going to and calling, so I'm gonna wait till we talk about it here. Then if we have some interest, we can contact Milton and further pursue it and come up with some details. I just myself did not want to give it up when we had the option of keeping it. And
Well, when you say give it up, if we don't do the combination thing, we don't,
then it's going to go to Milton.
what's that?
And then Milton's going to have it all, so,
How did
for
that
1
happen?
year. Because they felt that part of the county wasn't getting represented for a tire drive, and so we had it last year, so that Milton should get it this year since Berlin doesn't want it. And that's why I brought up the suggestion of doing a combo, so we still stay involved with it. But what I think about is Milton's never done one. If they would get a slew of tires and ours is dwindling down here, then the following year they would probably get it again because their number was so high. Yeah.
Well, common sense would tell me that's exactly what will happen. We've been doing it every year.
Right, so I mean, that's
So
why...
we got all our scrap tires
Yeah.
completed.
So that's why...
Out there, they probably got them
Yeah.
stacked up behind barns and everything else.
Yeah, so that's why I don't want to give it up, because we might never get it back again. Yeah. So I think we work with them, we can still keep it under our contract and maybe work with them, but... It's okay, well, that's what I'll pursue tomorrow, and then next meeting we'll discuss more on it, so... And if I need you to get involved with working with Milton sooner than that, I'll let you know after tomorrow's meeting, so... Okay. Just got a letter today from the Sebring West Branch Hot Stove League. It's a field usage permission, and they looking to use it again. Really no pertinent particulars in here except who to contact if we give them the permission. So wasn't last year that we gave them the permission with a little bit of issues, and then we never seen them out there.
Yeah, I don't think they ever used it.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, as Jim says, it's a deplorable field right now, but I think we got enough time, we could contact them and see what their thoughts are as far as working with the field since the condition is, and discuss it more the next meeting. I would think that would be soon enough for them, but it's whatever you guys think.
I think once it snows off, they need to take a look at it and see how much work it's going to need, because
Okay,
they're going to be responsible for the bulk of it.
okay. Just table that till next meeting then, if that's what
I
you
would say
want.
so. Give them a chance to come out and take a look at it, the snow melts.
All right. I'll contact them and tell them to do that and get back with us then, so. Okay. All right, just already announced the Armstrong rates and the township meeting. I believe that's everything that I have. Our next meeting will be March 9th, 2015, 7 p.m. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote, Mr. Hyman,
Yes.
Mr. Basin,
Yes.
Mr. McCracken,
Yes.